Good evening. It's early in the morning. I'm doing something different I haven't done before. I feel it's important for me to do it. I told two young people that I would hold a podcast to bring them together and let them tell different sides of a pretty interesting and traumatic tale. On the one side, you have a young brother who himself had been abused as a young child, raised in the foster system, and was seeking solace in the love of someone he felt a connection with, even though as a new adult, she was underage. And so the young lady herself, she, capitulates at first. They have a child, they share a child. And then the story becomes she, is pressing charges. She's putting things out there. The young man, a young brother, and we're talking about a European sister, he says, look, I was taking advantage of a very young age. I just wanted to be, close to someone. I felt a connection with her. It may have been wrong, but I admitted it, and I admitted I needed help, and I got my treatment, and I moved on from that. But she's not letting me go from that. These are the competing stories I wanted to bring out tonight. Something came up, and I couldn't get to that show. So tonight, I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm actually holding the show without them to try to get them to come back on the show. I don't want them to think that I don't take podcasting seriously. So now that everything is smooth and I'm good again, I want them to know that the world should hear both these sides of the story, because the Guard Me Gear fundraiser I've been putting out there for all of you people, you guys are seeing this clip, this link. You guys are seeing, join the fight, her fight's my fight. You're seeing this. You're seeing me try to raise money for a startup for the Guard Me Gear. This right here. This is the business. This is the business. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a whole business, a business account with my bank. Like, this tech startup is for real. This is not something I'm playing games with. We can end sexual and domestic violence and stop situations like this from happening. I believe that both people in this podcast that's yet to happen, we're going to get it going, that both people have pain, they have trauma, they're trying to heal, and we need to hear, but we need to see how sexual and domestic violence can affect one person, but can affect our whole entire community. Because like I said, there's a child involved now, right? What's this child gonna think? The young lady, she may not even know that by putting these things out there about the child's father affects the child. And you don't want to do that. No mom wants to hurt her child, but she doesn't realize that. So when I went to go, podcast the young brother, she was like, how you going to put a sexual, like, really went in. So I had to go ahead and do my research and bring it up. And they both decided to come on, and I couldn't do the show tonight, everybody. And I feel bad about that. But I, as a father and in a committed relationship, I have priorities myself. So my priorities come first. The show, podcasting, coaching and speaking, these things come behind what I do for my family. So I take care of my family first, and then I get back to podcasting. So I'm doing something tonight to make sure all of you know that concerning the Guard Me Gear personal security wearable technology, you have to donate. If you don't donate, every time you hear of a rape, of a sexual assault, every time you see the alert for Amber Alert for a child abducted, you know that you allowed that and enabled that to happen because you didn't donate to the startup that's going to put an end to all of that. And all you have to do is follow the link and go check out the business model that we have for the Guard Me Gear. It's all legit. The only thing that makes it not legit is I'm not white. I'm not a European. If I was a European man and I said I can fix domestic and sexual violence, you all donate as much as you could. You put a year's salary. Y'all spend y'all taxes to try to get me going. I'm trying to raise $150,000 to get the product manufactured so we can start testing it. It's just that simple. And you have to do it. So the young lady, she said she's still willing to come on the show. The young man, so I believe they're both still into it. We're going to do the show. Don't get me wrong. But I'm doing something I've never done before, because underlying this is human sex trafficking, right? If you didn't see Mel Gibson film, I'm telling you, go check it out. I know a guy that's really behind that, and he knows it's a big problem. People, kids are being snatched, and people's kids. I have 4 children. If one of my kids came up missing, oh my God. You know, I just can't conceive it, but it's happening every day to families. We can put an end to that right now. Guard Me Gear. Gear stands for giving everyone a response. As a confirmed genius, I've solved the problem. All you guys and girls have to do is to get behind it and donate. It's all you have to do. So as the story goes, so the lady, she comes on to as soon as I posted it for the young man, I say, I'm going to bring this young man on. He says he's heartbroken. And what's going on over here, Roxy? He says he's heartbroken. The young lady says he's a child sex predator. I'm like, what? So I inbox her. She's like, well, look, this is his paperwork. She shows me the paperwork. I'm like, okay, well, is he free? Is he in prison? What's going on? She's like, well, it's 2 years old. So I go hit old boy up. I'm like, look, she said she'll come on if you come on. Are you comfortable telling your story? He calls me on Facebook. He's like, man, look, you know I was wrong, but I was messed up. I was put through so much as a child that I really didn't. And if you do your research, when people experience trauma, they stop maturing. If your trauma is that serious, especially as a child, you don't continue to mature. You're stuck in that trauma standpoint. So you're still basically mentally and emotionally, in a lot of ways, still at that age. This is deep. So this is why this is so important. And I hope you guys and gals out there, you know, whether you like my show or not, that you get behind the movement. We can end this right now. October and November, these are months where we celebrate the awareness of these things and we talk about them. We can celebrate the end of it in 2024. This is historic. If you go onto the market right now, you can buy mace, pepper spray, tasers, car alarms. You can buy Invisaware. You can buy a lot of different products, but these things have been out for years and haven't changed the fact that this is still happening. And they're not going to tell you that I'm telling you that Guard Me Gear will prevent. You know I can talk. Let's go. Taibu Mu'addib right here. Mornings with Mu'addib. You know the deal. If you're not live streaming me on YouTube, you're just not. I jump off of my content creation right into my phone calls. I had been starting later and later in the day. I wasn't getting very many calls done. I don't like bothering y'all early in the day, but at least we can get our real calls set up on my calendar. I got to reach out to you guys and gals and thank y'all for being active members of my coaching community. All right. This morning, we're definitely going into this issue of Megan and Nicki Minaj. We're gonna basically go through someone put together. But the question we should be asking now with these ladies making the content that they're making is, can one man satisfy a woman? You listen to the lyrics and you're starting to wonder. We used to ask ourselves, can one woman satisfy a man? You know, but can one man satisfy a woman? You hear these lyrics these days. You got Red, you got Minaj, you got the Stallion.
Cardi B, you got these women rapping, and you wonder now, can one man satisfy a woman? And so you guys willing to jump in here, you can comment on me. I want to know, can one man satisfy a woman? Because the way you hear them talk these days in hip hop, um, it doesn't seem like you fellas are able to do the job. And so if you're in a committed relationship in a marriage, and people are always talking about who cheats more, men or women, and the consensus is that women are doing it more. That's the consensus, not even equal. It's just that women are doing it better. And because women have different ways of being intimate with men. Men we only have one way of being intimate. I'm a guy. I'm just going to tell you straight up, a heterosexual male only has one way of being intimate, really truthfully, and that's through his physical intimacy. That's through physical gratification. But women can cheat in many different ways, right? Mental, emotional, spiritual. They can be drawn in. Many men have had women drawn into their pastor, and they're listening to their pastor and the man of God more than they are at home to him and following that. So women are cheating in different ways. But ultimately, that might be because one man can't satisfy a woman. So we're just gonna go ahead and get to the bottom of that right now. It's be good to know if one man can satisfy a lady. I would like to know that in particular for people out there, to just get an inkling of how over sexualization of the black woman is spreading. And this is an old stereotype that was placed on black women a long time ago. And I don't even know right now if those young sisters that are rapping, if they have if they understand historical context, right? Do you understand the historical context behind the over sexualization of the African woman? If you don't, just look it up. So it was long ago thought that you couldn't rape a black woman because they always want sex. Did you guys know that? You girls know, you ladies know that? Once upon a time in this country, it was thought that you couldn't rape a black woman because they always wanted. So now you have women rapping about always wanting it, and you wonder, okay, what's going on? Can one man satisfy a woman? And you listen to these lyrics, and I'm telling you, it's crazy. We're gonna get off deep into the over sexualization of the black woman in a moment. Right now, let me go ahead and jump into what we can find about this beef with Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. But I'm telling y'all right now, fellas, one man these days can't satisfy a woman. And women are ranting and raving about it all on social media. But we might as well go ahead and admit that one man cannot these days. These days, one man is not enough. And I'm not taking anything away from the chaste sisters and out there that really are trying their best to make it happen with just one guy. But it's really, really tough because men aren't being raised to be men. I'm hearing the terms alpha male and beta male. I don't know what's going on with that. You have the LGBTQ community, and they're staking things. There are homosexual men married to straight women. I guess I don't know how that goes, but I know for a fact that this phenomena, this changing of the guard of what heterosexual male sexuality is, the changing of the guard has put women in a situation where now they really have to piece together a whole man, someone that can protect, provide, make her feel safe, secure, and that has the opposite male energy that she needs to her feminine energy. I'm telling you right now. So it's tough. It's tough right now, but it doesn't sound like these days, if you hear Megan Thee Stallion rap and Nicki Minaj rap, that one man can satisfy a woman these days. We'll get right into that. Let me go into what's going on with the father of the young lady filing the lawsuit. Now, on artistic creativity, right? So if you look at old Hollywood movies and how Europeans are playing Indians, Europeans are playing Africans and Egyptians, no matter what, Europeans are playing all different types of cultural human beings being played on the big screen by Europeans. No one ever sued them or tried to sue them for pain and suffering. This is the most ridiculous thing. So this European dude has no. I just think that he's reaching. I think he's re-traumatizing himself. And what's this European dude doing listening to rap music anyway? So I think that it's it's the craziest thing. It's the nothing. Let's go ahead and check it out. I'm a screen share. Please follow me over here. Taibu Mu'addib, 4019. If you're not following me, let me go ahead and pause this for a second so I can get you guys that real deal. Let's reel them in. So it should be, you should have the opportunity to follow me. Taibu Mu'addib, 4019. If we're not getting that, okay, yeah. Let's get this back on the docket. We're going to copy that, get this over here. So please make sure you follow me picture in picture over on Taibu Mu'addib. Get me up to 1,000 followers, everybody. Oh, it says character limit reached. Okay. You can only do so much. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and copy this and paste it the way that I can. All right. I'm sorry. I put 4019S. I don't know how the S got on there. Bam. Delete that. Okay. YouTube, Taibu Mu'addib, 4019. Help me get to that 1,000 mark. I appreciate everybody. I'm going to pin that comment up there. Let's go. All right. I'm about to screen share over here. And so my point really is two things happening here. You have, I can't say he's broke. I don't know. But it seems like he's a regular average dude, not really holding like that. And so a black comedian once said, it's nothing that a European hate, what a penny hates more is than what a black person with a nickel. So that's what this seems to be. Let me see if I can't get some money off of this, because clearly he's not raising awareness to the positive for his daughter, when really the Stallion's diss on Nicki Minaj is apropos. I don't know Nicki Minaj's husband. I don't know his crimes. I don't know what he's convicted of. But people are saying that, he was, convicted or whatever, had this situation happen. So the bottom line is, at least that was a direct shot that was aimed correctly. It may have been below the belt, but still it was apropos to the situation. So with that being said, let's go into this real quick and see what they put together. Like I said, I'm going to screen share this real quick and get this out here so that it's known. All right, let's see what it says. Let's go.
Okay, you guys, so get into this. So Megan Thee Stallion could be facing some legal action for her song His. So the line that she used to diss Nicki Minaj's husband that went, "These H's don't be mad at Megan, these H's mad at Megan's Law," could possibly cost her some real money. Now, Megan's Law was a law that was passed in the early 90s after a 7-year-old girl was unfortunately raped, okay, and her life was taken by her next door neighbor who had already been convicted of child you know what, but nobody knew because the information was not made to the public. So Megan's Law makes it mandatory for any S offenders' information to be made public. So there's no more secrets, no more hiding. So Megan tried to use wordplay regarding Nicki Minaj's husband because he was convicted.
And there it is. So before we get to the over sexualization of the black woman in the question, can one man satisfy one woman? We have to deal with the fact that these these artists these days, are they taking it too far? Now, far be it that two sisters would get into a Biggie and Tupac type feud, and we end up losing them to gunfire. But I think that it's getting out of hand when you have, when you're bringing families in, when you can't just talk about the person and their artistry or their lack of sales. I mean, you had, different rap artists battle each other, and it's like, man, you ain't even making as much money as I'm making. You know what I'm saying? That was the whole Jay-Z Nas thing, right? Jay-Z and Nas going back and forth, and Jay-Z like, man, I'm just getting money, bro. You just tripping. You know what I'm saying? You might have some street cred, but you're not getting no money out here. What you in the game for? And Nas is like, bro, you a copycat. You a copycat of every, you know what I'm saying? So they were talking, but you didn't see them bringing the moms and the wives and the baby mamas into it, right? So, it just, so I have a problem with the European dude trying to sue based on her reference to a law that he tried to put into place to make sure that, sex offenders, basically, especially child, predators and pedophiles, have to register. So I just don't see his beef with anybody that brings light and awareness to the Megan's Law. You don't have a copyright on your daughter's name. For one, you don't have a copyright on the use of the law. I think it's a reach. It's a way to make himself relevant, maybe get a quick payday, and Megan, I would say, you got money, sister, go ahead and pay the European and shut them up. That's all Europeans want to do is, make money off us anyway. So I'm going to put that to the side. But how nasty this feud or beef is getting, or this is getting, it's like, yo, leave the family out of it. Fam's past his situation. I mean, how can a person that's done time for a crime get out and live if you're going to make, they're always going to be that mistake, right? And we'll call it a mistake. We don't know if he's still doing whatever, but that's what the guard me gear security tech wearable is for. If people don't want these individuals able to have access to people to do it again and again and again, if we believe that they're never going to change, we have to get behind funding the guard me gear security tech wearable. And let me put that up there for you guys and gals so that you know the real deal. I want to make sure that you all have opportunity to donate and to get that done, because at the end of the day, no one can say that they're truly against it until they join this fight. All right, you want to join this fight right now. I'm gonna put this in here. Go ahead, copy and paste this. Go over to GoFundMe and donate right now. Let's listen to the rest of this, and then we'll have our conversation about whether one man these days can satisfy a woman. Let's go.
Convicted of rape, okay, when he was 15 years old. But like I said, this could end up costing her, because Richard Kanka, who is Megan Kanka's father, is livid that Megan dragged his daughter's name and law into her beef with Nicki Minaj. Now, he said that it doesn't get any more disrespectful than what Megan has done. And even though Megan Thee Stallion is shedding light on Megan's Law, he said that might be the case, but it doesn't change the sour feeling that he feels for her bringing his daughter's name up. And he also added that his daughter's name being used in such a graphic manner is disrespectful to the pain that his daughter went through and the pain that his family felt during this tragic time. Now, he did admit that he has not listened to the song, but he did read the lyrics, and that was basically enough for him. So now he's looking into legal options.
So I can't make this up. So this guy is re-traumatizing himself because of a rap beef that two sisters have. It makes no sense. I personally believe that this right here, I mean, I've been talking about, that's Black history. Let's talk about it. If you look at my Mornings with Mu'addib yesterday, you see what I was bringing up yesterday. So for For him to say, oh, she brought my daughter's name up. She brought up the outcome of the tragedy, which is a good thing for the community. Sir, that's what she brought up. Oh, how her name was being used. That's terrible because it's using a graphic. Sir, again, she's not talking about your daughter. She's talking about the law that you worked all this hard to put into place so that sexual predators of children are outed in the communities, that they have to register, that we all get to know who's living next door to us. So thank you, sir, for that. Now sit down and pipe down. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing that. But that's Europeans, man. I'm telling you, you European people, my European fellow Americans, you have to stop trying to make money off of us. Just get free money off of us. Slavery is over. Just stop doing it. Just the attempts to do it is ridiculous because we're doing it to ourselves. I have to file a justice of the peace case myself against people that look like me for not wanting to pay me for work that I did. So I'm telling you, y'all can stop it. Y'all can stop it. So I quit that right there. Let's go into the conversation. Can one woman satisfy a man? This podcast is being brought to you courtesy of First Step Coaching. My name is Taibu Mu'addib. I'm a certified goal achievement coach. All right. So my services include personal coaching, emotional trauma, personal self-development. I do motivational speaking events. So, I just want you to know that First Step Coaching, powered by Heavenly Bodies, is what I do. And so I'm bringing this out so that you all know. So I want to hear y'all comments on TikTok. Can one man satisfy a woman? The whole time we're asking the wrong question. The whole time. I've had a lot of conversations. I did podcasting for a whole year. I want to know what your comments are. I'm gonna start looking and watching because my screen's big. I got my iPad here. Y'all let me know. Can one man these days satisfy a woman? And me personally, I'm leaning towards no. You look at Megan Thee Stallion, you look at Red, you look at Cardi B, you look at the lyrics that are being put out there, and I'm telling you right now, one man couldn't do it back in the day, obviously. What do men know about women's bodies anyway, right? So now you're in a situation where they're coming out. You can call over-sexualization if you want to, but they're coming out and they're saying, I need a man for this, I need a man for that, I need a man for this. Can men handle that? That's the question. Are men ready to handle the fact that these days women's needs are greater than what individually we can provide? Because a woman, man, let me tell you something. The woman needs a guy she can talk to and that makes her laugh. That might not be you at home. You could be bringing home the bacon, but do you talk to her? Do you make her laugh? Is she the smile when she wakes up? Are you the smile on her face when she wakes up? Probably not. So a long time ago, I didn't know what a work husband or a work wife was. I didn't know these things a long time ago. Then I ended up going home, going to Pittsburgh one time, and I was up in an office where there was two security guards. They were armed. It was a city building. I was going to get my birth certificate, right? I had some, I'm doing business and stuff like that, and I had lost it, so I had to go get it redone. And so the security guard lady, she and I are having our little flirts. We're flirting back and forth. At the time I was single and she was looking good, and we having a flirtatious conversation. And the dude, he was mean mugging and acting funny the whole time. Right? Now, my man Io, shout out to Westinghouse and all the fellow Bulldogs alumni. My man Io, he was posting on Facebook a lot about this work husband, work babe thing, right? And I was like, I couldn't understand it until I saw it in actually happening. So if it's a guy at your lady's wife's job buying her stuff or coming to work and bringing her stuff. I know I went through a situation where it was a guy that was working. They were doing work on the building where my girlfriend works at, and he was buying his crew breakfast and lunch at certain points in times and would offer her something too, unbeknownst to me. But this was happening on a continual basis. So when I find out what's going on, it's like, you know, it just sounded to me like she's having a date at work with this guy. Now that may not, that was, you know, she explained it differently. Like, nah, he was buying his crew stuff. And because I'm sitting there, you know, basically guarding the whole situation, I'm watching Alpha stuff. He was just trying to be nice. And he would just ask me if I want something too, while he's ordering stuff for his people. And I would choose to say yes or yay or nay. So, you know, it doesn't have to reach that work wife or work husband situation, but what it lets you know is that women these days, they need to have that physical gratification of men. So I'm in the South now. In the North, it was different, right? Like in the North, like dudes ain't for that, you know, your girl hugging guys and everybody you can just hug and everybody squeezing and everybody loving each other and hey, how's it going? And that's how you greet a hug. That's not how it was where I was at, not in the North. You know, you look at that a whole different way. But down here, it's hug nation. Everybody wants to greet somebody comes along with physical gratification of some kind. In the North, it was just more or less like, you know, places like church or certain, you know, circles, whatever, whatnot. You have an event, you know, it's going to be some hugging going on and peership and stuff like that. But just on the streets at the grocery store, walk up, hey, well, that's a long time no see, you know, nah. But here in the South, it's different. And so you have to get in your mind, like, what's this woman's needs, right? I'm telling you, fellas. And so can you push a woman away that's a good woman that wants to be your woman just because you're going to push her just because she has needs that you can't fulfill? You might not mentally excite or emotionally, you know, challenge your woman and make her feel, you know, a certain kind of way. And women know. That's why I say up here, you see, right? So it says, you know, the reveal is whether one woman could sexually satisfy them. So we're talking about men, but I think it's the reverse. I think it's the reverse. Can one man sexually satisfy? Like you look at the relationships. So what we have a lot of is you have, you know, a lot of women in their 40s and 50s trying to figure it out, trying to date. And when you talk to them, they either grew apart or their man cheated. It's always something like that. But when you look at it, they got married between 17 and 25, or they were with their high school sweetheart. So I respect you ladies for not wanting your number to get up, not being worried about what he does, but not wanting your number to get sky high, because we have discussions about that. I respect you for that. So women are making the mistake, I want to say, of not being able to keep them legs closed at them ages, so they stick with one guy until now they have a couple kids by him, end up getting married to him. But that's not the man that can satisfy them. That's not the man that can make them feel a certain kind of way. You're meeting men that give you butterflies, right? But you're attached to this guy. Shoot, hell, these days you're meeting women that turn you on, ladies. And so the man at home, you've known him for so long, you're comfortable, you're not leaving him, but he's not able to satisfy you. And let's bring this out to the forefront. Thank you guys, all you guys and gals, for joining. We're talking about over-sexualization of the Black woman. We're talking about, can one man satisfy a woman? And all these things this morning on Mornings with Mu'addib. And I want you guys and gals to give me your comments. Right? So I want to know. We're over here at Taibu Mu'addib, 4019, picture in picture. So after the conversation, I support Megan Thee Stallion as far as like with the European dude trying to get money. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's more of, you know, just the cultural bias that he should have nothing to say about it. talking about it with his family, like, I don't like what she did. That's one thing, but you know, it making the news and all that, like, nah, bro, you went too far with that. But the over sexualization of the Black woman, historically, I'm telling everybody right now, women, sisters, Black women, you're rapping, you're thinking that you're being creative, but all you're doing is you're feeding into a very old negative stereotype about sisters. Very, very old. The stereotype, when African women first brought to this company, the stereotype was you cannot force a Black woman to have sex because she wants to have it all the time anyway. So I think that not only dial back all this beefing and dissing, but dial back the over sexualization of yourselves. It's difficult when hip hop is so pervasive to see all these images of Black women bodies shaking and gyrating in small, skimpy outfits, and then get them to the point where, okay, I can look at her like she's chaste, like she's, the marriage type, quality. And whether you guys and gals are liking the podcast or not, I want to say, but you should be tapping the screen though. You guys, hundreds of you guys are coming in here, and I only got a couple of likes. I don't like that. So please tap the screen. Let's go before you leave. Tap the screen before you leave. Let's go. But what I'm saying is let's be intentional about this. Sisters, you can't promote an image of over-sexualized lifestyles and expect men to, make you a housewife. It's a reach. You're asking us to reach. That's why you hear people say you ain't gonna find your spouse in a nightclub, right? Because you got men in there. What are they looking for? Mrs. Right or Mrs. Right now? Come on, get in the comment section. In the clubs, what are men looking for, ladies? Y'all know. Fellas, when you go to the club, what are you looking for? Are you looking for Mrs. Right? Be honest. Are we going to be honest? Let me see if I can't draw this thing here. Enhances. Can I draw something on here? I wish I could. Let me see if I can get the white screen going. Let's get this. Let's see if we can get this thing going. Give viewers to guess your drawings. Start drawing. Disable effects to draw and guess. Disable. Let's go. Let's start drawing. Disable it. All right. I don't know about that, but in the club, let's go. I'm drawing. In the club. Let me know in the club, fellas. What are you looking for in the club? Mrs. Right or Mrs. Right now? Ladies, what are men looking for in the club? Do you think if you meet a guy in the club that he's gonna view you? Let's be honest about this. That he's gonna view you as the marrying type. If you met somebody in a nightclub or a lounge, and it led to something serious, jump in the comment section, man. Raise your hand. In the club, do you believe men are looking for Mrs. Right or Mrs. Right now? Ladies, what do you find? Right now, to be clear, a lot of the songs that these female rap artists are putting out there, not all of them, but the ones I mentioned today, the ones on the show today, over sexualization. They're buying body parts to look a certain kind of way, to promote a certain sexual image, right? Megan Thee Stallion, right? So she is automatically attaching herself to an animal, to a beast, to to basically an animal that we ride, right? So it's a nice rap name if you're a female, like Ride Me, you know what I'm saying, I guess, but still it plays into the psyche of the man. Now, how many fellas out there would marry a chick that has a Megan Thee Stallion mentality? How many of you fellas out there would marry a woman that has a by her lyrics in her songs, a Megan Thee Stallion mentality? Because I know for a fact she's on she's on record talking about she tells guys to shut up, and it's the craziest thing. She tells guys to shut up and all that. Like, I don't know if I could, this is real. Megan Thee Stallion on wax talking about she tells her man to shut up. So how many guys, come on, fellas, jump in here and let me know. How many fellas out there would you marry a woman with a Megan Thee Stallion mentality? All right. So then you have, it's the over sexualization is crazy. So that I think that the European dudes shouldn't be trying to sue Megan. I think Megan went too far by bringing, Nicki Minaj's family situation into just a regular diss on the track. I think that went too far. But now we're talking about, can one man satisfy a woman? Just one. Y'all joining me. I want to know. I'll draw something else. Don't think I won't. If I can't draw this on here. And this drawing thing is hard. Oh, I did it. This might look kind of bogus, y'all. I'm trying. I'm going to get it on here. Try to draw around myself. Bam. Can one man satisfy a woman? That is terrible calligraphy, but I want y'all to answer the question. Yes or no? Y'all joining now. I'll go to subscriber only. I'm going to go to my subscriber only if y'all don't answer the question. Can one man satisfy a woman? What are y'all thoughts? Let me know. I ain't going to hang around here. Y'all want to get into it. So I'm going to exit that. Let's go. I'm going to exit that. Got the green screen behind me. Appreciate y'all for jumping in here. Let's go. Who wants to join and discuss it? You don't have to. Join the discussion if you want. I'm comfortable bringing folks in that I know. If I know you can come in here, you can get in here. We can get it popping. So get my effects going. All right. Get my effects going. Let's go. I think that we have a really good opportunity here this Black History Month to do two things. To have real conversations of things that matter in our community and to get something done. So the Guard Me Gear fundraiser, let me spend a couple of minutes talking about that, and then I'll get out y'all way for the morning. It's today. What's today? Okay. Happy Friday. I jumped. I'm trying to make sure I was a day behind the other day on my other show. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm gonna put in the comment section the link to the fundraiser. So the reason that this GoFundMe is so important is that you look at Adriana Williams and you look at what she did with her position. You look at Jeffrey Epstein and what he did with his position. You look at people in positions of power in our schools, in our places of business, just taking advantage of young people. You look at those situations. And when them young people felt uncomfortable, they didn't have anything. They didn't have any protection. They didn't. Taibu Mu'addib says, yo, look, let's go with the guard me gear. Let's go with that. And what's important, I think, about the guard me gear security wearable technology is that we're going to be able to give everyone, literally everyone that wears the device, a response. What's the problem with calling 911? Depending on how big the city is. I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth. I can call 911 and I'll be done got my head split and they didn't got away by that time. If they have masks on, all I know is I got my head split and they have masks on. What were they wearing? I don't know. I was getting my head split. So you need to have a response, a faster response. You deserve to see your response. Y'all didn't know that. Minimum guaranteed response time, MGRT. That's a part of the Guard Me Gear's one of its main features is that depending on where you are in society, you know your proximity to a certified responder. As the product grows from region to region and spreads across the country, there'll be more CRs available to you. How we certify and train people is they get information about victims and people and how to deal with folks that have dealt with some kind of violence, right? And then they also are trained somewhat into how to logistically help a person reach safety or get into a safe space. Those two things. So the certified responder, their job is to deactivate your device. So you have to be in a safe space, and it can't be that they deactivate it because they're trained. So if I'm a certified responder, I'm a girl dad, I'm a certified responder for the Guard Me gear. So what I'm going to do is when I show up and I'm knocking on the door, the person comes to the door. Yes, I'm looking for Tanisha Stevenson. Yeah, she's here. What do you need? Well, I work for Guard Me Gear, security wearable devices, LLC, and I've been sent here by her device being activated to deactivate it. Well, I didn't know she had anything like that on her. She's fine. She's cool. Well, but then my job is simple. As long as she tells me that and she's in a safe space, I can get paid. That's all I want to do. Oh, well, she's sleeping right now. Well, the device is going off. So be it's going off by accident or for real. I can deactivate. She can't even deactivate it, sir. I or someone like myself have to deactivate it. That means a conversation with her. That means she has to be in a safe space. I've been trained to make sure that I can tell if this individual is in a safe situation. Well, hold on one second. If y'all watch my other podcasts, sexual predators, when confronted, they're going to try to lie their way out of it and or primarily blame the victim for what's happening. Do your research. So people that are trained to respond to especially these sexual situations, you're going to encounter, y'all watched the Jeffrey Dahmer movie. This guy was literally Texas Chainsaw Massacre in Wisconsin, but he was simply just explaining away situations to people. You're just talking his way out of situations. And that's what's going to happen, So, I don't have to go in. Please present the individual. If you can't present, that person can't come to the door, sir, then I have to sit. But see, if I'm there with the person that's trying to commit this act of sexual crime against this person, if we're at the door while I'm dialing 911, that person is what? Not being attacked. So that's how the Guard Me gear, security, personal security, wearable technology works for the largely women and children who are unprotected. So you have to donate. You have to. If you don't, in every situation, every Amber Alert that comes, if you don't put your $5 in and share that link, that's all I ask. A minimum donation of $5 from you guys and gals out there. and that you share the link with somebody else. I have a large enough social presence. If you all do that, just donate yourself and share the link, you're good. The comments pinned up there, that's the link. That's what we want to do. So that's just a brief. And when I get these young people on here to talk about their situation, we're gonna continue to see the need. I'm gonna bring. I have a case study that I'm doing, and so we're gonna bring Miss B. She donated. Anastasia, we're gonna bring her on. The people who are donating. I'm trying my best to get them on here so they can discuss their situations and share their story about why it's so important to them. It should be important to all of us. If you have daughters, mothers, sisters, fellas, how can you not be putting that $5 in to say, hey, let's get this thing going? Especially if you're an African man. The guard me gear save your life. And I'm going to bring the brother on Monday onto the show, Live Your Truth, my night show. I'm going to bring their brother Benny Scott on. He's going to talk about being tailed by police for 10 miles and how that made him feel, and how the guard me gear he could have summoned a certified responder, and they could have made sure that he was safe. It's Taibu Mu'addib right here. That's my morning show. Inbox me, DM me if you're struggling to stay motivated. If you have a personal goal or a personal challenge that's giving you a hard time, trust a life coach. I got 10 good reasons why you should get you a life coach. And I'm telling you right now, I myself invest in the coach. That's how I began this platform. That's how I began this business and this service. I'm telling you right now, life coaching is for real. There's so much need out there. So many of you are struggling with things and dealing with them silently. You don't have to. Trust me, you can afford me. So in my services, I make sure that they're affordable. I want to help many people as I can. So inbox me, DM me if you want some professional feedback on your information. All right. That's the show. Let's go. Always give my people over here on YouTube something extra. So today, when I'm talking about this fundraising event, join the fight. Get involved. Right? Do something real. You know, when you donate, you can say, hey, I played a part in that. I made a difference. When that thing gets going, I can put my name on that. All right. It's like the Coal Center. I was working on the Coal Center in Madison, Wisconsin. They built that. So, you know, they had the people that donated for the Coal Center. They have their names printed in some of the concrete. So people always see it. That's how it would be for you as well. Taibu Mu'addib, that's the show. Let's go.